Welcome, everybody, to another video. This one is pretty funny. We're going to go over some stuff Terrence Howard is going through. If you don't know who he is, right off the top of my head, 2 movies, Hustle and Flow. And then, of course, he played Rhodey in the first Iron Man and left because they didn't pay him any money. So they brought Don Cheadle in, and he took the job for pennies. Probably gets paid a little bit more now, but anyway, Mighty Golden Patriot over on Ripascend, doing really well, very happy, 57% funded. Thank you, everybody who's backed it. Check out the campaign. It's a great book going back to World War II in an alternate history. Their own little Sentai action in there. It's a fun action comic. We got a bunch of stuff you can check out. Here are the covers. Of course, we've got 4 of them. We want to check them out here. And then everybody's favorite, the $17 flag cover. Awesome. Showing some respect to America, which, you know, comics used to do. Captain America, Superman, all of them is to fight for truth, justice, and the American way. Not anymore. Now it's the world. But no, this character cares about America. So check out the comic. And now, let's go to Terrance Howard. So, this has got people in quite the stir. They're very upset that Terrance Howard, who, by the way, has said this before, and I'm going to go to that clip, but we're going to go through this first because he was on, I believe, Bill Maher's show. And he said, look, I don't want to play a gay character. I don't want to do that. I don't want to kiss a man. I really don't understand the problem here. I don't understand the problem. It's almost like you're going to be shamed to do it now. Like you have to do it. You have to go through your humiliation ritual, which is a problem in Hollywood. We've seen this quite a bit. And you know who this really gets targeted with are black men. Black actors. A lot of them, if you look it up, have been forced to, well, not forced, but they'll put on dresses or dress in drag or be forced to take some kind of gay role. It happens a lot more than you think it would. It's quite strange. Dave Chappelle's kind of talked about this before. It's very strange what's going on over in Hollywood. It's almost like they want you to go through a humiliation ritual. And Terrence is like, nah, I'm not doing that. Turned down a Marvin Gaye biopic because he didn't want to kiss a man. It says, I would cut my lips off. And that's what's got people so stirred up. And it's funny because he's said this before, like I said. This isn't the first time he said this, but for some reason now, it's a big problem. Terrance Howard almost starred in a biopic of legendary soul singer Marvin Gaye, but there was one major holdup for the actor. During a recent appearance on Bill Maher's Club Random podcast, Howard said that the biggest mistake of his career was turning down the starring role in a Smokey Robinson biopic, a role the musician personally asked him to play. Howard explained that he turned Robinson down because he was already in conversation with Lee Daniels about playing Marvin Gaye, a different biopic. Maher supported Howard's decision, adding that Gaye's life story was much more interesting. He went on to say that Howard would have been perfect as Marvin Gaye, and that is a story that needs to be told. However, Howard ended up missing out on the Gaye biopic as well. The Empire star said he passed on the project after he found out about Gaye's sexuality from another music great, Quincy Jones. I was over at Quincy Jones' house, and I'm asking Quincy, I'm hearing rumors that Marvin was gay. And I'm like, was he gay? Howard explained, and Quincy's like, yes. After the revelation, he said he could not star in the movie. They would have wanted to do that, and I wouldn't have been able to do that, he said, of portraying a gay man in a movie. So Maher asked him, you mean you couldn't kiss a guy? And he said, no, because I don't fake it. That would F me. I would cut my lips off if I kissed some man. I would cut my lips off. Maher said he wouldn't go as far as Howard, but understands why he would be uncomfortable. And Howard said, that doesn't make me homophobic to not want to kiss a man. And I agree. He just doesn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do that either. I wouldn't want to do it either. And it doesn't mean he hates anybody. He just doesn't want to do it. But of course, that means he's a bigot. So over on social media, a lot of responses to the posts. I bookmarked a few of them. A lot of people bringing up apparently a domestic violence situation. But when I read it, he pleaded guilty to disturbing the peace. I'm not condoning that. If this is all something that actually happened, then, that's kind of screwed up. I mean, it is screwed up. It's not kind of screwed up. It is screwed up. But that still doesn't take away from the fact that he's not a homophobe. But, of course, here we go. Terrance Howard does power tripping homophobe really well. It's wild that Terrance Howard is saying this when a black man, Lee Daniels, gave him the lead role in Empire. At the time, most people in Hollywood did not want to work with him. He played the hell out of Lucius in Empire, who was a raging homophobe, too. So, this guy gave him a role. He doesn't want to kiss him either. Does that make him a bigot? Why is that not okay to say that you don't want to kiss a man? This is where we're at now. And this reminds me a lot of the stuff where, they try to shame straight people into hooking up with trans people. People have preferences, and they don't want to go out of those preferences. There's nothing hateful about it. You can have your preferences and not hate anybody. It's really kind of stupid that we even have to argue about that. Here's another one. Won't lose any sleep to homophobe Terrance Howard never getting an acting gig again. If Terrance Howard is trying to ruin his career, he is doing a great job all by himself. But not sure if he has a publicity staff. However, somebody needs to pull his coat before he gets no work. Here's another one. Deeply problematic. He's closeted, apparently, because he doesn't want to kiss a man. That means he's actually gay. Who gives an F about what Terrance Howard thinks about anything? He's a hateful, unhinged man who needs mental health care. It's been obvious for years. It sounds like he knows himself better than most people. So, it's just crazy to me. And like I said, here's a clip where he talks about a Diddy Party. This is back on April 5th. And this didn't get any traction. But in this one, he's talking about Diddy parties and how the people that went to these, they get messed up. Let's go through this because it's a pretty interesting clip. So the context here is he's talking about everybody that went to Diddy parties and lost their man card. And what that means is, well, they got bent over.
Give up your manhood? I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
Now, I agree with him. I would never do that for some fame. You're going to destroy yourself. You have to think, you'll think about that forever. And, he talks about Justin Bieber, and Justin Bieber's a really good example. He's crashing out right now. Something crazy is going on with Justin Bieber right now. And, we all know the sad story about Diddy kind of hounding him, and sad, man.
So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
Man, I mean, one of the things you're seeing, you went to a whole different place.
Sorry.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that?
Yeah, he's totally right. Totally right. What's the point if you lose yourself? And he's not saying anything hateful, at least in my opinion. He's not saying anything hateful. You're a straight man, and you're going to let Diddy take your back end multiple times. You're selling your soul. And it's the same thing with women who traded themselves for Harvey Weinstein. You sold your soul. You'll never get it back.
If I lose my integrity, you got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Terrance. Come on over. Come hang out with me in this private room with candles, and you teach me how to be you'll be my acting coach. He wanted that Howard booty. Man, Puff Daddy, there's going to be I can't wait if we even get it, to be honest. I think you're going to see a lot of similarities between Epstein and Diddy. And I honestly don't think we ever get anything from Diddy, really, anything substantial, because all these governments are just going to keep the shit for blackmail. That's the biggest reason why we still haven't gotten the list, and we're never going to get it. They should have never talked about it again. All they did was open up that rabbit hole. But, it is what it is. But Diddy, man, how many men has he humiliated?
Go there, and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting.
Like he's looking at dinner. Okay.
So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers coming to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing. And
we need more of this. We do. Anyway, that's what's going on. That's the latest controversy. They're going to cancel him because he didn't want to kiss a man. Didn't want to kiss a man. Time to cancel him. You better get in that dress, Terrance Howard. So I don't think he's going to sell out. So maybe he'll just keep exposing Hollywood. And I'm here for it. Let's expose Hollywood. Anyway, check out The Mighty Golden Patriot over on Ripison. Link in the description. Like the video, share the link to the campaign. If you can't check it out, share the link. That's free to do. Share it around. Also, hit that notification bell. Like, comment. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
The year is 1945. World War II rages from the halls of Buckingham Palace to the shores of the Nile River. Even now, the clash between freedom and tyranny is about to boil over. Somewhere in North Africa, two American flyboys are soaring high on a reconnaissance mission, searching for clues to a peculiar new obsession, with the occult gripping the Nazi high command.